Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Comfy Town Hall stream. I'm here with Julian and Phil, Machine Delusions. Welcome, gentlemen.
Doing good. How's everyone doing?
Right on. Good. Not too bad, man. Just been going through all the crazy workflows people have been doing on Bandoko with WAN, and I figured it would be cool if we tried to kind of help everybody understand what all the WAN models are and what they mean and what they do and all the things that WAN can do, because the model folder that Kijai has for WAN has a load more button on it. And that's terrifying. And I understand why, because that's a lot of models. That's a lot of things. But really, all that means is that the community's been going absolutely bonkers training stuff for WAN. But, we got LoRa's. We got distilled LoRa's. We got multi-talk. We got light. We got fusion, vase, control. I know it's a lot of terms, but we're going to kind of just walk through all the default workflows and sort of, show you what all the models do. So yeah, welcome. Yeah, if you have questions about WAN or video generation in general, just drop them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them as we go along. All right. So, what is WAN? WAN is just it started out as just a video model, text to video, image to video, the 1.3 billion parameter version and a 14 billion parameter version. The 14B looks better, but is much larger and takes more VRAM. The 1.3B is much smaller, and the quality is not that much worse, really. So, it's a really good place to, if you have less VRAM or a slower GPU, it's really fun to use 1.3. I use 1.3 a lot when I'm just kind of fooling around and trying stuff. And then when I got something I like, I'll go do it in a 14B run. That being said, they're not completely interchangeable. They are different models. So just because something looks awesome in 1.3B, and then you increase, you just think, oh, I'll just run the same thing with the 14B model. It might be completely different. So yeah. But we have ways that we'll explain later on how to make that 14B model, land in like 4 steps instead of 30, which is like massive reduction in time and processing. All right. So let's just start with like a text to video workflow. So let's browse templates and we'll go to our WAN-VideoWrapper. I'm in the wrong comfy, I think. No, I'm in the right comfy. Browse templates, WAN-VideoWrapper. Okay. Look at all these workflows. That's a lot of workflows. So instead of getting overwhelmed, let's just go straight to the text to video example 2. So this is the most basic thing you can do with WAN, which is write some text and then a video appears. So we'll just go through the most.
I actually haven't tried
here.
the 14B for this one.
Oh, it works good. Yeah, it works good. We can actually do a 14B here. Yeah, it's weird. It has that one selected by default. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're going to have to download this model. So yeah, here's, like I said, there's a lot of models, but don't freak out.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Already I've run into a problem. I don't have this particular flavor of the text to video model. I have the 1.3, but the workflow wants the 14B. So we need to go download that. All these workflows, Andre asked where these workflows are. They are in the examples folder of the WAN-VideoWrapper, and the WAN-VideoWrapper is linked in the description below. So go in there, click in the examples folder, and you can grab them. When you go to run it, it'll tell you to install WAN and VideoWrapper. Do that, restart Comfy. You'll be on the same page as us. I also linked Kijai's WAN models folder. That's the folder I'll be going back to all the time. So when you guys see me go to that big long thing with a bunch of models in it, that's the link, the second link in the description below. Okay. That's Kijai, Comfy, WAN video. That's all of this. Okay. These are all these are all WAN models. This is what I was talking about. Load more files. Like there's so many, there's you have to load a second page of them. So uh, they're not all WAN models. They're all models that work in the WANosphere. You may have recognized some of these terms that have been kicking around: magref, vase, movie gen, minimax remover, the control net stuff, the light X model. There's a fusion X model. There's inpainting models, different kinds of control models other than vase. But what we're going to stick to today mostly is 1.3b, 14b, text to video and image to video, vase control, and we might get into multi-talk, but probably not. I'm not even sure if that's been merged into main yet. So
too much of a hassle.
Yeah, but it will be soon, and everyone will be able to play with it very easily. So yeah.
Yeah, and then we can do a separate stream on that, maybe.
And there's also Sky Reels as well, which is another sort of LoRa for what is like a reward LoRa and extension LoRa, I believe. A lot of this stuff is just designed to make WAN look better in many different ways, and everything in this folder is specifically tuned to performance and or quality and or expanding WAN's sort of capabilities. There are also stylistic LoRa's that you can go get everywhere, like Civitai and everything. You can train WAN LoRa's just like you can Flux LoRa's, SDXL LoRa's and stuff. If you want to, like, there's a Steamboat Willie one. There's a bunch of other ones where you can just drive your style directly into the place you want it to be by training in footage that looks the way you want it to look. Dan asked, is it okay to use Tcash with CosVid LoRa? Like Phil said, you can, but because CosVid and Fusion X and Light X, they make the model actually finish by 4 to 8 steps. So adding Tcash is actually like kind of pointless there. You want to use Tcash when you're doing a large number of steps, 20 to 30, because then you can say, it'll try and skip maybe 20, 30% of those steps. Mm-hmm. And that's a massive reduction when you're doing a big, long, high quality render. But for honestly, most intents and purposes, the CosVid and Fusion X and Light X being my favorite, are just like, I don't even know if you need to not use them. Like, they look so good that
they really do.
Yeah,
they
like
really
it just
look good.
You're just kind of getting the steps for free. So yeah. All right. Where we were was we're going to download the 14B text to video FP8 E4M 3FN save tensors file. Yeah,
that's a lot of gigabytes.
So we're going to copy download link. I'm going to go back over to, I'm just running this on RunPod because it's a 5090 and I want this to go fast. So I'm in my ComfyUI models UNet folder. Let me try if I get this a little bigger. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, it's a little more legible. Okay. I'm in my UNet folder, but I actually need to, this is exactly where it needs to go. So we're in luck. So I'm going to type wget -O, and I'm going to type the name of the file name I'm downloading, which is WAN 2.1 text to video 14b bf16.save tensors. Then I'm going to add a quote and I'm going to paste in the download link, and I'm going to add an end quote. So I'll write that command in the
That's chat. Really interesting, Pers. You actually do it in a different order than me. I put the link first and then the name of the file at the end. But it's interesting that it works both ways.
Yeah, if you just wget help or man wget, all the commands are there. But wget basically will go find like a web link and download it to your computer. So it's a lot like it's a lot like wget because it is wget. It's a
G
yeah.
down
It's
fuzzy.
basically it's for it's when for there's a file on the web and you need it on your computer. Do I want to be notified for official Jupyter News? No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Subscribe. Put your email in.
So we're just downloading this. It'll be about 30 seconds. Once that's done, it'll be in the folder where I wanted it because I ran this command from the folder where I wanted it. But if you look at that command that I put in here, you see where it says WAN 2.1 T2V 14B. You can actually insert the path you want it to go. So wget-o path to file.safetensors URL. So like if you don't want to go to the folder, you can say, oh, just put it in this folder and then paste the URL into the command.
I'm learning stuff today too.
Always learning.
And my camera died.
Yeah.
It's still
It's
hot.
hot. I'm gonna have to get something.
Someone buy person AC.
No, I know.
Yep.
I can switch to my other camera. Give me a moment, y'all.
I'm gonna Amazon Prime you a fan.
Yeah, the problem is it's a really nice camera. It's just getting too hot.
It's honestly surprising, if it's a nice camera, usually you're shooting outside, like.
There we go. I'm back on my webcam. All right. So file's done. Let's go back over here. Hit R. That's going to reload all the node thingies. Now it's in the Now it's in the list here, and I want the text to video 14B. I actually called it the wrong file name when I downloaded it. It's actually the FP8 version, so we'll just remember that. That failed because my VAE was not selected, and that is over here. You can always find the failed node because it's got a big red circle around it. So it's just because I haven't selected it after I loaded the workflow. You'll run into this all the time. You load up a workflow, it looks like the right model, you hit run, and then it's like, oh, you didn't click it and select the model. It's like, okay, fine, fair enough. All right, and we are sampling 832 by 480 on a 5090 at 25 steps using Tcash. I guess we could take this opportunity to talk about Tcash.
And the various optimizations.
Yeah, go for it, Phil.
Yeah, sure. Very simply, again, Tcash is probably one of my favorite optimizations. It's a really clever idea, and the idea is as such. In the diffusion process, we are taking away noise. Let's assume we're starting from noise, right? We're taking away noise and then adding some back and then taking it away. And you do that incrementally through, let's say, 20 steps, diffusion steps. And so what Tcash does is it looks at the two steps that are beside each other and says, okay, what is basically like the differential percentage of change between like step 1 and step 2, for example? And if the change is too low, it just skips step 2 and goes immediately to step 3. And so what happens is if you have 20 steps and we have a threshold here at 25%, basically 0.25, in theory, it's going to skip 25% of the total steps with pretty minimal quality loss. So you're basically just getting those steps for free as if you were running it at a lower step count. But it does actually come out higher quality than if you just lowered the step count wholesale. So that's like in a nutshell how Tcash works. What was the other one that came out? There was another one that worked in a very similar fashion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Magcache.
It's Magcache. That's it. Magcache.
But you guys can actually see this happen down in the bottom left. I've moved the names. I know it's small, but as the numbers go up, you're going to notice like it just went from step 6 to step 8. Like it just skipped step 7 because it determined that the difference between that step and the next one was so minimal or underneath that 0.25% threshold. So it didn't even bother. It just moved on to the next step.
Yeah.
And this sort of goes through.
I've seen it
So
jump
like,
like 4
yeah,
steps
that's the
before.
thing.
It's
Like
crazy.
when we say 25%, that's a probability of frame to frame difference. It's not like I'm going to skip 25% of the steps. If this change is not 25% or more different, I'm just going to skip it. So
Yeah.
it's important
Yeah.
to note that, like, you know, a low threshold can still result in massive step reduction if those steps were useless in the first, not useless, but like, you know, less impactful than the rest of them. And so you can actually kind of freely crank
Whoa.
that up a bit and not too worry. You're seeing what's happening, aren't you? Yes.
Is
Isn't that cool?
yeah, dude, it's tripping me out. When did this
Today,
happen?
I started running this today, and it's happening, and I don't know why, and I'm in love. So,
That's
if you
awesome.
guys
That's
aren't
so cool.
noticing what we're freaking out about, is while I'm generating this, we can actually see
Oh,
what's happening
preview.
while it's generating, and it's getting a little
Preview.
better with each step, which is
Yeah.
something we've all wanted for a very long time.
That's
It's,
cool.
It
I
just
like
dawned
it.
on me. You have a preview.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, this render started as a 9-minute render, but now
Okay.
And Pers, you should tell
Because I was playing with the Mid-Journey model.
Go ahead, Phil.
Sorry, I was lagging there for a sec. I was playing with the Mid-Journey models, and I noticed that it was also previewing. And so I thought it was like doing like a frame pack thing where it was like rendering frame by frame. But this makes a lot more sense. This is probably what they're doing.
There's a few other Luma's been doing this for a while, and one of the other, I think Kling does it a little bit. You can actually see sort of a blurry representation of what your video is becoming on a lot of the sites now. So it must be something with diffusion transformers versus old school animate diff, because I know with diff we would have had to basically decode the whole batch to be able to see what's happening, but here we're actually getting a look. When using a wrapper setup, every time changing the LoRa's, the model needs to reload again and takes long. Any workaround for that? I doubt it. If it has to reload, it's probably because it has offloaded to make room for another model in the process. So that process will have to happen again in order to load that model again another time. This is just one of the things, we have a limited amount of VRAM on our GPUs. So, yeah.
And I was going to say, Pers, maybe you can show the people where in the options to enable like the
It just
preview,
worked, dude.
because I don't think
I
it's
don't
on
know.
by default.
No,
It
I
does
don't
work by
know.
default for this one?
I just installed this and it worked. So I have no idea. If it's an add-on, I have no idea what's up with it.
Usually I do it on the manager.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't think that see the preview method is just set to auto. Like if it's this, it's I think it's an add-on that comes with this particular run pod installation Docker image thing.
Got you.
There we go. So that's a 14B one text to video. So and the text was the default prompt for one, which is high quality nature video featuring a red panda balancing on a bamboo stem while a bird lands on its head. In the background, there's a waterfall. And right? Didn't quite land on his head, but close enough.
It did the thing.
It absolutely did the thing. So we have text to video. Text to video is amazing. We have image to video. Image to video is amazing. We also have image morphing. So going from one image to another image is also possible. We also have vase control. Let's go to our templates here.
And Andre was asking this question, which I think is a good one, with the 14B. It's not faster. It should be higher.
Okay, so
quality.
actually, let me just explain something about that real quick before we go too far. So this is the 14B model. So this is the highest quality text to video model, right? But I am not currently using a LoRa. So if I plug this LoRa in and change it to, we have Causate and we have LightX. I'm going to use LightX. I'm going to set it to about 1.3 strength. And then I'm going to change my actually I'm going to bypass Tcash. And then I'm going to change my step count to 4. And we're going to run this again. So that last run was 25 steps. This run will be 4 steps. This is the power of these distilled models. We've just taken our run from 25, well, maybe 18 with Tcash steps to 4. Now, 6, 8, probably going to get you better results. But 4, 4 works, man.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things I tried when I got the model was I just like lowered the steps, and I was surprised at just like how well the base model worked low. No tweaks.
So just to double iterate here, Andre. So with these LoRa's, it's faster. These are performance LoRa's, distilled LoRa's meant to make things faster. It's not necessarily just faster if you use a LoRa, but it's like the style LoRa's and stuff. They all work the same way, and you can stack them in with this, I believe. But these specific LoRa's, CosVid, LightX, I think Fusion X is another one. They're designed to just lower the step count drastically by it's kind of like LCM, if you remember LCM from the SD15 animate diff days. We're getting to a good result faster, but it might not necessarily be quite as good as the other result. So let's see what we got. So this was a 4-step render. It's just decoding right now. This one's awful. So it's quite possible I just did something wrong here. I have a workflow for this. One sec. I have something for this. Okay. Just trying to see why it's different. So for this, we're using CosVid. CosVid's a 1.3b sort of distill. This workflow I actually got off Banadoko. Crap, I forget who made it now. Anyway, it's for morphing 2 images together. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. I'll go check on Banadoko. But yeah, so like this one's really great, and this kind of illustrates why Vase is so cool. I don't know. Let's get these in here. We got Vase. We need the 1.3 BF16, the VAE, the UMT. Got to make sure we got all the right stuff. Oh, I don't have the LoRa I need. Okay. See how it's asking for the CosVid bidirect 1.3B? I have the 14B. Remember, 1.3B, 14B, not compatible, not friendly. So let's grab the 1.3B over here. Files, we need CosVid, T2V.
Yeah, the fourth one.
I want the 14B, right?
Yeah.
No, wait.
The 1.3, I think. Yeah, that one.
See, guys, even I get confused while I'm doing it. Okay. And that's a LoRa. So I'm going to cd ... cd LoRa's. So I'm in the LoRa's folder, wget-o, 121 CosVid, 1.3b, T2V, LoRa, rank 32, safe tensors, and then paste that link and hit enter. Okay, we got it. Let's go back to our thingy. Hit R. Friend. Am I dumb?
Is it done downloading?
Should be. It was really small.
Did you name it wrong? Safety? Did that get cut off?
Did I just not see it? Oh, I'm just blind. No, I'm just blind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good. So yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole workflow, I think. So if we go, laughing. Oh no, we're good. So the way this workflow works is it takes the first image and then it morphs it into the second image, but then it generates a prompt using Florence from the first image. So it's a fun little workflow to play with for just going from image to image, and then obviously you can go boom boom and then grab the second image, put it in the first one, and then you can just keep jumping along the process. So for this one, I'm just gonna you just leave the settings default and see what happens. Invalid T5 means I've probably asked for the wrong version. Yeah, so this is using Vase. Vase has several inputs. It has input frames, reference frames, and input masks. So the mask is sort of like an in-painting mask. It tells it where to do its business. So where your video is black, it'll do nothing. Where it's white or gray, it'll do stuff. And then you can use that to, subtly guide it into doing stuff. Your reference image is what you want the thing to do or be. So in this case, my face. And then the input frames for this one is actually it's just the first frame and then a bunch of gray frames and then the last frame. So it basically just says start here, bleh, and then end here. So and then the mask basically does the same thing. It's like, start with this frame, don't do anything, and then change everything in the frame until we get to that last frame and then just show it. So yeah, as you can see, it did the thing.
Pretty impressive.
It's really cool. Yeah, and it works even better with cool images. So let's try ocean.
Go from a volcano to a lava, or from lava to ocean, something like this. It'd be fun.
Yeah. So we'll go here and then we'll say volcano eruption. And yeah, that took on a 5090. That took 20 seconds to do that video. That's crazy. Good question. Where does it say? Looks like 48.
Yeah, okay. That is fast. Holy moly.
81 frames.
Oh, wow. That's even more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. So yeah, we have this, the image workflow, all that stuff. But once you have a workflow like this, as long as you have some sort of loader set up like this, you can just kind of start breaking this stuff out and just doing what you want to do. Let me get rid of start to end frame stuff. Let's just resize this picture so that I'm the reference image, and then we're going to add a actually that'll work. Let's change this into a depth map. And then send this in as the input frames. Another thing we're going to do is just resize this real quick. Image scale.
And why we do this? It's a good way to see a vase. It's kind of like a toolbox, it can let you control a bunch of things with one, which is really, really quite awesome and quite powerful. It's like a army Swiss knife of WAN, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
In case for the people that don't really know what vase is, that's a good way to see it, in my opinion.
So if
Yeah,
I did this correctly, it's going to load. I think I actually just maybe loaded too many frames. Well, 120. We'll see what happens. Ooh. But let's see. So right now we're making a depth map of this lovely fellow here. And then it's going to use my face and the depth map. And that's all. It's going to take this and my face as the two inputs. Actually, no, it's going to use the ocean because I forgot to change the picture. So yeah, even better.
it'll probably follow the prompt more in this example then, whatever the prompt.
Yeah, and the prompt was probably nonsense. Did it even work? I don't even think it worked. Let's get rid of these. Let's try to add my silly face again. Is it broken? There we go. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. So this is a six step run. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
I love how it just jumps from that first frame of me like mean mugging the camera. Bloop.
Looks like you're wearing a hat, but your hat is also like the platypus mouth. And you have giant hands too. It's perfect. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, I nailed it.
It's one of those handshakes you would never forget, man.
Mm-hmm. So then I wonder, like, what would it look like with, like, what if we turn this? What if we use like the volcano as the image, and then get our old friend here? Like, can we make lava dance?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, 1.3 is very fast comparatively to 1.14, of course. I mean, it's literally a tenth of the size, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna only load like 81 frames. We're gonna skip like 140, 240. I'm gonna get some silly movement. Oh, there's only so many frames. Ooh, it's pretty silly. 20. I'd rather keep them centered. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Okay, so now lava is our reference image, and this fella dancing is our control footage. Yeah, I can't even come up with examples faster than it takes to render them.
That's a good problem to have, I would say.
Yeah. But yeah, that also means like you can just run these back to back over and over again and make all kinds of cool stuff. There's also ways to try it with like different prompts and things like that. I just went from volcano to this guy dancing. Our vase strength's at 100%. Nice. He's just dancing on the volcano outside the erupted volcano. That's actually perfect. That did better than I thought it would, to be honest.
What resolution do you have on this one? Just 7.
That's 720 by 720. So then let's try swapping this out for 14B, LightX, all the 14B stuff. Do I even have the... Oh, I need to get the 14B vase, I believe. Let's have a look. Model card. Vase. 14B. Yeah, let's grab that. Unet. wget 0121 base 14b bf16 safe tensors. Paste. Wee. All right, downloading vase. A man made out of lava dancing. Yeah, we could try that. Let's go back over here.
It would definitely help a lot, for sure.
So let's get rid of the reference image and just say a man made out of lava dancing. So now it's only going to look at this and the text prompt and try to make the thing happen. Let me see what I screwed up. Oh, it's because I changed a bunch of these models a minute ago. One sec. We need the 1.3B. We need the regular vase. This is fine. That is also fine. And we need to swap out the CosVid 1.3. Okay, that should be all the models. But yeah, the prompt making a difference is why I have the Florence thing set up, because, you know, half-ass prompts don't really work with WAN. You gotta tell it what you want. Even this one, I don't think this prompt was enough. He's not made of fire at all. It looks good, though.
It does look good, though. Yeah, I was going to say. The background, look at that background. It's impressive.
Yeah. Man on fire. I'm just looking for, like, cool picture from a movie or something where, like, there's a...
The price is pretty good. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, like maybe something like that. Boink. And then we'll just use this as the prompt, but we won't actually feed this in as a reference image. And then after this run, we will feed this in as a reference image and see, you know, what difference it makes. So I don't think the prompt's going to do enough. Do, 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 do. Yeah, the prompt was like not enough. But now I have a reference image of a person on fire. So let's see if that makes a difference. Oh,
I saw some. Yeah.
Yeah, it flickers. Yeah. This is what happens with the reference images. Sometimes, you know, it'll just like the first frame is just full reference image. You can fix that by using the start to end frame vase node, and then like start and end closer to where you want to be. There's a fire over there.
What is this request, dude? I don't even know.
You know, I have a picture of Phil.
Oh my lord.
Pretty sure I do.
No, you definitely do, and it's just
I have a lot of pictures of you.
I need to sneak into your house and delete it off your hard drive.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you've ever been on my stream, I have you now. I don't know where I put the file, though.
You're safe, Phil.
Yeah, you're safe for now. I'll just find another picture of Phil. I have Lovis. I've got Kent. I've got Ryan. Huh, I wonder where that image is. Oh well. Not today. Yeah, the Fusion X LoRa is, it's interchangeable with CosVid, basically the same thing. Okay, so Fusion X LoRa is really good for like animated stuff, but I find the CosVid and LightX ones better for realistic things. And I don't do an awful lot of animation, anime style stuff, so camera movement like Recam Master. I've tried the camera movement stuff, and like yes, it works, but it's still so sort of rudimentary that I don't like. Yeah, you can play with it, but I don't know if it's worth covering right now. But it is a cool idea to be able to control the camera. It's still right now still very like playful. It's like what was the trajectory control thing we had for WAN? Didn't we have one? Anyway,
We definitely did. There's like 3 of them, honestly, which is
yeah.
why there's so many models in that folder from Kijai.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Fusion X is just sort of an amalgamation of a bunch of different LoRa's. And again, I've used them all extensively, and it's fine, but it is really good for animated stuff. And we're just doing more realistic stuff today. So.
Oh, the house is on fire.
To touch on this, Dan Bond, definitely. I think walking through what it takes to train WAN LoRa's, definitely on the list. It's not as straightforward. There's a lot more variables happening. It's a different repo. It's like there's a few things. So yeah, definitely want to do a stream on that and get you guys up and running with training video LoRa's because they're really fun.
One second, getting Phil to chat about 2.1 LoRa's.
Anything training related, it's always good to hear you talk about it, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, or not even just me talk about it, like just to do it, like we'll go through the process and we'll do it. We'll see the failures. It might have to be one of the because training takes so long, right? Like, oh, the chicken's done. It's out of the oven and like movie magic kind of vibe, but we'll go through it.
I'm sure a couple of years from now, we'll see a movie called How to Train Your LoRa's with Phil.
And actually, I wanted to comment on the lava guy for a second. This is where flux context comes in, right? Use flux context to change the guy, and then use that as the start frame.
Yeah.
How did the thing come out, by the way, Phil, that you were cooking the other day?
I mean, it works. It totally works. So for anyone who missed that, I made like a context LoRa. It was just like a really quick and dirty one. Basically, what I did was take a bunch of my art. I down-resed it, so it was like really pixelated. And then I trained the image pairing with the pixelated and the normal high-resolution one in hopes that I could make a LoRa for context that, like, if I give it a low-res image and I say upscale it, it will literally just depixelize it and make it higher res. And it worked. It totally worked. So I really want to scale that up and make it like really useful. I didn't have enough data in the realistic realm. So when I put in people's faces, it gave them like synthetic qualities. It definitely like depixelized them, but it gave them synthetic qualities. So yeah, it's promising all around.
Synthetic qualities like Neuralink and stuff.
No, like Deep Dream from like 2012.
Oh no, hot dogs and eyeballs.
Yeah, dude, hot dogs and eyeballs.
Anyone who was around in the old days knows what I'm talking about. Okay, I mean, turned him into a like ninja, I guess. I don't know. I ran down a rabbit hole here trying some stuff, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the templates. So if we go back to the WAN video wrapper template, you can see all this stuff. We got recam, we got vase, control LoRa's, we got end frame, first frame, flow edit, we got fantasy talking, phantom, sky reels, multi talk. Yeah, the ecosystem is very busy. Also, nobody has time to test every one of these on their own, so I highly recommend paying attention to Reddit, our ComfyUI, um, our Stable Diffusion, all the AI places, Banadoko, the Comfy org, Discord itself. People are playing with this stuff every day and posting their results, so you can sort of take in on this information via osmosis by just watching their experiments and trying to put together, what you would use each thing for, because each thing in this list, this big long list here, has its own little advantages and disadvantages and use cases and not use cases. Multi-talk, that can take an audio, like a audio file and an image, and make the person lip sync what the audio is. I've used it a lot to mess around with lip syncing videos. The only downside to that is the Wave to Vec lip stuff was trained on either like Mandarin or some like not English mouth movements and formants. So when you go to play back that stuff with like English lyrics, the mouth shapes aren't correct. But like if we get a like a Western one or whatever, it'll be amazing. LoRa edit. I don't even know what LoRa edit is.
Yeah, Christian, can you elaborate on that? When I hear that, I think of flux context with
like flow edit
or a LoRa, but
like flow edit was supposed to be like video editing with WAN.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I seriously feel like we can do 10 streams on just WAN. There's way too much to play with in this.
Let's
ecosystem.
WAN,
I feel like I haven't even touched 10% of it,
Yeah.
So yeah, we can also do video outpainting, which is really neat.
We should ask the chat what they think. If we should do a series of one, just like focus heavily on one aspect of one or one stream, and then move on and just like do a series of couple.
We gotta stop saying WAN and
video WAN, video
in
WAN,
the same
video.
sentence. It's very confusing.
One
thing we should do. Video one.
That's what we want.
That's what we won. Okay. So in the vase default workflow, there is a section for video outpainting. To play with these sections, just unmute the section and leave this section unmuted all the time. So this section here in the default workflow is all the model loading. Then this is like the workflow for start end frame. This is the workflow for video outpainting. And this is the workflow for control with reference. So this will give you an idea of how vase works in general. So we tried control with reference earlier. That's where we put my face on the platypus and stuff, and the person dancing in the fire and things like that. But yeah, so for video outpainting, this is actually super interesting. So we'll take let's take a video. Let's take our little friend here. Okay, so we got this guy. Let's have a look at what our workflow does. I'm not actually entirely sure what this does. Let's run it. Oh, missed some models over here. Vase, 1.3B text to video. All right. You and yep. All right, cool. Okay. So it looks like what it's going to do here is take this chunk of the video and then render that area around it, the gray area around it. So you might have seen this on Runway, where you're expanding your sort of canvas. So let's try this.
Another thing to note too is like latent noise masks work. You can really turn WAN into a VFX machine.
Yeah.
And then you can also start thinking on how you can combine these things together, where you do this to outpaint, and then you take the outpainted video, and then you restyle it using Vase again, and you can just go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like the major categories are the WAN models. You've got your text to video, your image to video, and there's two platforms, 1.3B and 14B. 1.3B, if you have 16 gigs of VRAM or less, I would just pretty much live in 1.3B land. It is possible for you to do stuff 14B. There are distilled and quantized versions of those models. FP8, there's GGUFs. Like if you need to do this on 8 gigs, 4 gigs, it's possible. Go on Reddit. There are guides. Oh, allocation on device. We did it. So I just oomed a 5090, friends.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I've been trying to do this for a couple weeks. I'm kind of proud of myself. Now why though? Oh, you know what? I bet no, that's
Quantization, maybe? Are you offloading?
Maybe. I wonder if I loaded the wrong model. I think I loaded the whole hog onto the. I think I loaded the whole WAN FP16 into memory. Seems to be doing something now. But yeah, so that's actually one of the what I was literally talking about. I just ran out of VRAM because I tried to use a model that doesn't fit in my memory. So FE8, EFM4N, 24N, whatever. There's two variations of those. One of them doesn't work on a 3090. One of them does. Oh yeah, allocation on device.
I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but it said it moved. It used the CPU instead of the GPU at the bottom left.
No, it's just off. It's only when it's offloading. That is very strange. I've actually done this before, so I don't know why it's booming. Might be a thing where I broke it once and now it's like broken. Base one. Am I loading the wrong model somewhere? No.
Yeah, doesn't allocation on device mean that it's splitting it between CPU and GPU?
Yeah, there is something going on. I would look into that. See right there, it says moving video model to CPU.
All right, well,
yeah.
While Pers fixes that, I want to quickly answer this question because it's actually really, really good. So can you explain FP16, BF16, FP8, etc.? Okay, so very, very simply, it's actually way simpler than it sounds with these acronyms and these abbreviations. But basically, like FP stands for floating point, right? So it's literally like how many decimals are at the how many decimals of a number are there. So in this case, there's 16 floating points, which means the model has higher precision. You can think of it like it stores more data because like it's more incremental. There's more numbers there to capture. And then FP8 is literally just take that number and cut it in half, right? And so now you've literally essentially cut half of the precision or half of the data, but it's not quite half the data. It's a level of accuracy, but you're just getting rid of basically 8 decimal points. And then BF16, I'm not actually 100% sure on it, but I do know that some graphics cards perform better in that world, as well as like CPU stuff. CPU stuff definitely benefits more from BF16. It's more compatible. but I don't know the specifics or what BF even stands for. So let me look at
Brain floating point 16. It stands for.
what is it? What is it?
Brain floating point 16.
Okay, that's not any more clear.
No. I just looked it up, and it's 16 floating points format that uses 1 sign bit, 8 exponent bits, and 7 mantissa bits.
Okay, 16 floating points.
Well, of course it is. Duh. Everyone knows that.
Mantissa.
Actually, here I'm gonna read like a comparison between BF16 versus FP16. I'm just gonna read it off, right? Exponent bits. BF16 has 8 exponent bits, while FP16 only has 5. Mantissa bits. BF16 has 7 mantissa bits, while FP16 has 10. Numerical range. BF16 has a wider numerical range than FP16, making it more stable for training large models. Precision. FP16 has higher precision than BF16 due to its larger mantissa, but this can lead to numerical instability in some cases.
Okay. So what we've learned here is nerd stuff. But honestly, all you need to know is if you have lower VRAM and you want a slightly faster model, go for a lower quantization. It's definitely more prevalent in the language model world. You'll see like, FP precision 4 versus like 8 and whatnot. And that's basically all it means is it's slicing decimals off of the number to inference with the model faster. Usually what happens is they train at a higher precision and then bounce it to a lower precision for inference. So they train like full throttle and then they cut back on inference to kind of like preserve as much data as opposed to like training in a smaller box. Train in a bigger box, cut it in half instead of training in a smaller box right at the beginning.
So here we are. You can actually see what it did. Everything outside of this, everything in the gray here is dreamed. And yes, you can see the seam, but it's pretty good.
That's impressive, man.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Even when his face goes out of the frame, it stays pretty consistent.
Yeah, what?
So I mean, like these are again just demo examples. People like try some stuff. Like these masks don't have to be static. You know what I'm saying?
Ah.
Like make some stuff.
Okay. Now we need to track his face, make a mask, and hallucinate the rest of it, but only his face is
The whole
there.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
So I bet you could with what do you call it? Bounding
Sam or
box.
something.
Yeah, Sam and
Bounding
bounding
Dino
box
or something. Yeah.
That'd be a fun thing to dive into. So let's try. So okay, now the prompt was robotic cybernetic wolf turning its head. So I don't think the prompt really has that much to do with it once Vase is in the picture. It seems like it really matters what you're feeding Vase. Less so about the prompt. But yeah, I mean it's impressive. And yeah, we've only been at this an hour and we've only gone into 3 things. There's still Sky Reels and Phantom and Fusion X and
Movie Gen and
Movie Gen,
And training
multi-talk and
stuff too,
training. So
eventually.
yeah, friends, we'll call this one an intro, an intro to the overview of WAN.
An intro to overview like that.
There's just so many things available to us now that it's hard to even stay on top of all of it. That's why the community is so important. That's why it's really important for you guys to share what you make with us too, so that we get a good idea of what's possible. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks Phil. Thanks MJ. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll be back Tuesday and Friday. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon.
Have a good weekend.